Hi, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Gosh, it's Sunday. Gosh, May 23rd. How fast time is flying. And today I was doing an accountability, I can't even say it, accountability call. And we were talking about overwhelm and having lots of things to do and things to get done, and how we seem to, when you, i- is this like you? I know it's like me, but when I am in overwhelm, I just tend to spin my wheels and spin and spin and spin and spin, and I can't seem to get anything done. And so that's kind of a sign of overwhelm. And how do you interrupt that? We tend to think that, for me, I like to think about the more things I'm doing, the more value or more important things that I'm working on. I also like to think that the more things I'm working on, the more growth I'm having, or the closer I'm getting to the end result. But it sure seems like the more I do, then I tend to get more in overwhelm, which then takes me further away from getting my result. And so, I've been working on tracker sheets. We've been talking about that, like little habits trackers and things like that, to try to prevent that overwhelm from happening so much. And it's really interesting. The overwhelm is kind of like putting us in like this little circle. Like you have this little circle that you're end up being in, right? Overwhelm keeps you that spot. But overwhelm is putting you up against what you want the most, right? So you're growing and expanding and doing all these things, and you're really pushing up against something that you really want for yourself in your life. And so overwhelm is a good thing because you're up to something. And so don't make it be a bad thing. So if you were thinking about the emotion of the overwhelm, like if you have the emotion of it, do you realize that emotion, you don't have to, emotion is not truth. Emotion is actually just information. And if you put what information you put to it, has you actually feel like if that's good, wrong, bad, or stupid or something, right? But no, it's just information. And so it's not the law. It's something that you don't want to think about. It's like, oh, I have this emotion. I can't deal with this. And so you say it's a law? No. What I'm going to say is that you can actually, what we were talking about this morning is this guy named Adam. He said, actually, you can put an interruption to it. So when you're in that spin cycle of overwhelm, put your hand up. If you guys were to put your hand up like this, if you were to slap it, that's like an interruption, right? Your hand is stopping the flow of what's happening, right? So if you were to do this and put your hand up and say, I'm in overwhelm and I got so much to do and I can't get anything done, and then say that I'm afraid of, I can't get it done. And you put an interruption to that mindset and slap it really hard. Be that interruption. And then you can actually, what's actually happening when you do that, it's a neurological, he said he called it a neurological shock. And you can actually stop that, so that way the spin cycle stops, right? And then hit your hand again, like, I am not afraid. Say the opposite of what's going on to have you be in that spin cycle. And that will help you recreate a positive thing that you're doing and get you back on track instead of being in overwhelm. Another thing that I heard over the weekend with our social media training, it was pretty powerful and it stuck with me, is that I don't choose overwhelm. No, because if you feel like you're in overwhelm, then that means you are choosing overwhelm. And so just choose, you're up against something great, and choose something that's going to really matter and make a difference for you. So I thought that was pretty cool information. And I thought I wanted to share that with you because, to me, I can get an overwhelm pretty quickly. You feel like, oh, I got to do this and somebody and all these things you're working on, right? And that overwhelm actually stops me from actually getting production done. So I choose not to be an overwhelm. And who chooses that with me? Write down below if you choose to not be an overwhelm. And we look forward to hearing what you're saying, what your thoughts are. What causes you to be an overwhelm right now? Like, what are you doing that you feel if you're an overwhelm? So please tell me what you're up to. I'd love to hear from you. So again, Becky Rainey talking to you. All in on oils, everybody. Hope you have a beautiful Sunday afternoon. It should be a beautiful, well, the sun's not quite out, but at least it's not pouring down rain, right? We'll talk to you soon. Take care.